What's happening, everybody? Justin, Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, and welcome to today's Finest for what are we, April 25th, 2018. It's pretty bad when you gotta check the day. Fueled, as always, by Nerd Teas. Today's blend is Watermelon Oolong. It's one of my favorites, and it's my last glass. I'm choking back crocodile tears here, folks, because that watermelon blend is so damn good, and I don't know whether I'll be able to get more of it. I don't know whether Ruby is doing more of that blend, but oh my god, it's so good. I will keep you guys informed. All right, we got a big vacation to talk about here. We're going to waste absolutely no time. Let's get that sub count up there and... Huh. Well, that kind of sucks. Can't get too caught up in the numbers. It just always sucks to see a negative in front of the number instead of a positive. But hey, for the two of you, you're inspiring me to work harder. Also, folks, don't forget to follow the channel on Snapchat, BWF_902. See some stuff behind the scenes that you can't see anywhere else. Exclusive content for the channel. See that at BWF_902 on Snapchat. Now that Snapchat has mostly fixed at least, the problem that they created by changing their format, it's a little better to use now. All right, so vacation. Y'all know I was off work for a week. That's what I like to do. Twice a year, I like to take a week off. I like to take it in the spring and I like to take it in the fall. So this was my spring vacation. Weather wound up towards the end of the trip being excellent. Like the this past Saturday in Halifax was a beautiful day. And so that all worked out for me. And this was my spring vacation and I had a lot of fun. Although it was a bit of an interesting story to get there. So as you know, I work in retail, and for anybody else that works in retail, vacationing in retail is a bit of an interesting experience. Like you have to serve many masters, right? You have to work around a lot of other people's schedules. And I work in a small store where I don't have a ton of coworkers. I believe there's 8 or 9 of us total. So it's not nearly as bad for me as it is for a lot of other people, but working it out where, you can get the vacation kind of that you want and the time that you want to take. I wound up taking my week actually a week later than I wanted to originally, but you know what? That worked out because that whole week ahead was pretty bad weather. Well, not bad weather, but just like not really weather that you want to take a vacation in. So I was like, all right, that probably worked out for the better. But what didn't work out for the better is I basically chose the worst possible week to take vacation. And I blame one person for that specifically, Justin Trudeau. That's right, Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, personally messed with my vacation. No, the National Liberal Conference was actually in Halifax the weekend that I wanted to go into Halifax. So basically, almost every Liberal politician on the national level was in Halifax for that weekend. So, it was busy, but that's fine. Halifax is always busy. So usually trying to book a hotel room in Halifax like 3 weeks out from when you're going to be taking vacation, not a problem at all. You basically get your choice of room. But of course, because this conference was going on, not so much the case for Justin. The closest hotel room to downtown Halifax that I could find is Dartmouth, which is their sort of sister city that you have to actually cross a bridge and take a bus. Luckily, a room at my preferred hotel, shout out to the Cambridge Suites Hotel in Halifax, a room at my preferred hotel did open up. It was a deluxe suite at $350 a night. So I booked that room because, it was the only hotel room in Halifax that I could find, and certainly the cheapest that was left. So I was like, well, I'm going to book it, and I got like 3 weeks to figure out whether or 2 weeks until I can figure out whether I'm actually going to keep this room or not. Luckily, another room opened up in the same hotel, and it was $250 a night. So I'm like, okay, so I booked that one, canceled the more expensive one, and was just like, all right, well, at the end of the day, if I have to pay $250 a night to have my vacation, then it's just something that I have to do. So one of my favorite things to do in Halifax when I'm on vacation is play a little blackjack. I got a little bit of a gambling itch, but it's not terrible because I'm not sitting there on VLTs like just begging to hit a jackpot. Like I'm playing a game that I'm good at, and I'm a good blackjack player. Though you certainly couldn't tell from blackjack trip number 1 because I began the trip down about $110 in about 20 minutes. And one of the most unfortunate byproducts of when you're losing on a blackjack table is all the wannabe experts start telling you how you're playing wrong. And that, to anybody who plays blackjack, this to me is just proper etiquette. If someone has not asked you for your opinion, shut up. My particular example, I had this big guy, I'm a big guy, but this guy was like 350, 400 pounds, and he wasn't even playing on the table. He was just sitting there talking to the dealer, but he was sitting there watching the game. And again, I was down. I lost my first $100. So I'm like, all right, so put another $100 on the table. And that's a decision that I always have to make. Like if I lose 100, I'm thinking, okay, do I walk away and just eat the loss, or do I put down another 100 to try to win that 100 back? And this guy, first of all, when I did that, he looked at me and he's like, don't do it, man. Like, don't do it. It's too quick, don't do it. And I'm kind of looking at him and I'm like, but I realized why he was doing it, because I think the guy was trying to be helpful, but don't say a word about what anyone publicly is doing with their own money. That's not something that's not cool. That doesn't jive with me. But then even so, it was like, there was another instance where I took a card where proper blackjack etiquette, which is at least in part written by the casinos, proper blackjack etiquette says I shouldn't have taken a card. So I took it, and multiple people at the table just start ripping into me for taking a card. And again, I'm just kind of looking at people like, what are you doing? Like, I said nothing when you split those sevens against a king. I didn't say a word because it's not my place to say a word. So why are now 3 people yelling at me because I took a card when it was still safe for me to take a card? And it's not based on the result, but had I not taken that card, the dealer would have wound up with 18 and everyone at the table would have lost. The way it worked out, the dealer busted and everyone at the table won. But it's not based on the result. It's based on, I had a situation with my cards, and I played the situation the way I play it. That's a Venn diagram. Like, I follow some proper blackjack etiquette, but other stuff I don't, because it doesn't make sense to me. I have a way that makes more sense to me, ergo, I play it. So if you're on a blackjack table, this is a really long-winded way of saying this, if you're on a blackjack table, shut up if someone hasn't asked you for help or asked you for your opinion on what they should do with their cards. But slowly, over the course of the next 20, 25 minutes, started building back up, wound up taking a really bad beat, like a 20. I had a 20 and the dealer drew to 21, or a 19 to a 20, or something like that. It was a bad beat, which is usually the go home cue. If you take a bad beat on a table, that's usually karma telling you it's probably time to leave now. So I took that. I looked down at my chip stack. Oh, I won all my money back. Oh, I'm up like 15, 20 bucks. Oh, the big guy that was chewing me out for having, basically lost money and, oh, you're not following proper etiquette, is down about $300-400 and hasn't played in 20 minutes. Huh. Wow. It's almost like he should have just shut the hell up to begin with. So anyway, long story short, my first trip, I left up, I think it was $15, which doesn't sound like much, but the fact that it came from being down 110, I think that's a pretty good accomplishment. So as often does, blackjack trip number 1 led to blackjack trip number 2. So I went back, I believe it was Saturday early afternoon, like right when the tables first opened. And I was only there about 20 minutes, maybe. I took another bad beat, I think 20 to a 21 or something like that. So I'm like, okay, that's the go home cue. That's I'm ready to go. And I had another probably $30-35 in front of me. So all told, it started off poorly. The results started off poorly. But all told, with perseverance and with continuing to play your game, I wound up about $50. And that, I believe, were the 6th or fifth or sixth or seventh straight time that I've gone to the casino and left with money, just playing blackjack. As far as I'm concerned, it's the only game that favors you. Also, another big part of me taking vacation and going to Halifax is Halifax gives me the opportunity to see some movies that I would not have otherwise been able to see on a big screen. But it gave me the opportunity to see a couple of movies that my theater was never going to get. My local 7-screen theater was just never going to get. Those movies were Wes Anderson's Isle of Dogs and Lynn Ramsey's You Were Never Really Here. I liked both movies. I really, really liked Isle of Dogs. But I've done some full movie reviews of both of those, and I'll tell you about those in a second. Just to close the book on the Halifax vacation, one other thing that I did that I didn't realize how funny the thing I was doing was until it had already happened was I ordered pizza. Nothing different there. I literally ordered pizza the other night. But one thing that I didn't realize was what the day was and why this funny thing happened, probably related to the day. So I ordered pizza from King of Donair. It's the best pizza as far as I'm concerned in the entire city. And I just ordered a large pepperoni pizza. Like they just had a large one topping for like $12 or something. So I'm like, oh, that's a good deal. And I can eat off that for like 2 days. A guy calls me back about 10 minutes later. Says, you had ordered the large pepperoni. We're out of pepperoni. And it's going to take another like half hour to 45 minutes to thaw some more. So can we get a different topping for you? So I was like, sure. And just picked a different topping and went on he hung up the phone. And I was like, what pizza place runs out of pepperoni? And then I realized that I had ordered pizza on 4/20. So of course they ran out of pepperoni because it was 4/20 and everyone in a city of 100,000 people has the munchies right now, and everyone was ordering pizza. So of course they ran out of pepperoni. And I didn't realize that until about 10-15 minutes after the guy had hung up. I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. So in a nutshell, that was my vacation. I have a little couple minute put together thing that's going to be at the end of this episode, just to, show you my hotel room, show you some stuff that I did. And it's just a little quick thing, but some stuff that I filmed while I was there. Also, speaking of things that I filmed while I was on vacation, it's time to tell you about a new project that I've been involved with now for a little while, and I think it's something that a lot of people might like. If you've watched my movie awards, you know Tyler. You've seen Tyler multiple times on this channel. If you used to listen to the No Holds Barred podcast, we had Tyler on a bunch. Well, Tyler and I have started a new YouTube channel titled Library Chess Productions. Basically, what that channel is for is it's for movie reviews, short films, top 5 lists, and it's just some other stuff that we've done, including something that the sports fans, I think, may appreciate on a certain level. It's a one-of-a-kind fusion of movies and fantasy sports. It's the movie draft. So basically, Tyler and I each have a team of 10 movies that are judged on worldwide box office and a bunch of critical and audience scores. And there's a scoring system, and it's just an ongoing fantasy sports matchup all year based on our ability to pick the most successful movies of the year before they release. So again, it's just fantasy sports with movies. And I think there's a lot of you that are watching this, or a lot of you that may watch this, a lot of sports fans on my channel that would actually enjoy it and would enjoy sort of the concept. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the link in the description below to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/user/librarychess. But I'm going to leave that in the description below. Click through on that. Check out the movie draft. Check out the movie reviews that we've done. I think we've done at least 4 at this point. I think there's stuff there that a lot of people might like, and it's a great outlet for movie reviews and to do stuff a little more creative. And speaking of, you might find something you really like. Nerd Teas, gotta pump the tires again. Again, this is my last cup of watermelon oolong, and I'm kind of almost inconsolably upset about that. Nerdteas.ca. Use the promo code, like Gio DeFranco did, BWFinest, to save 15% at checkout. Free shipping on orders over $50 in Canada. You can get a great bounce on the US dollar. You get a great conversion rate on the US dollar because all of the prices are in Canadian. Look, Try out Nerd Teas, get yourself an infuser, try a couple of different blends, start sampling, find something that you love. You'll find it at nerdteas.ca. That's pretty much going to wrap up this episode. We're going to be back, I would say, either this weekend or early next week, something like that. But here is your hook for next time. Next time, I'm going to talk about my reactions to the first round NHL playoff matchups. That ends tonight, Game 7 with Boston and Toronto. Round 2 predictions will also be up probably late this week, so that's why it might take until the beginning of next week to do reactions for round 1, but that's what we're going to do next time. All right, folks, that's it for me. Justin, Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, fueled as always by my last cup of watermelon, but fueled by Nerd Teas. And time to check out some just brief stuff that I filmed for you while I was on vacation in Halifax. See you next time. The hotel is located right in the heart of downtown in Halifax. This is just my view from out my window. Up there is the Halifax Citadel, which is obviously a big historic landmark in Halifax. And we're going to have some fun this weekend. Day 2 of vacation is underway. You can't really see, but it is snowing outside in mid-April. Actually, I think this would be considered late April at this point, as it's 4:20 nooch. Last night was actually a lot of fun. My buddy Tony came over. We went to the casino. We hit the blackjack tables, and it didn't start off overly well, as I'm going to demonstrate with a visual representation. So my night started with this, and that went away pretty quickly, actually. And then another one was laid on the table, but that one became I appreciate you putting up with this. That one became that. So I wound up up $15, I think it was, by the end of it. But I wish I hadn't started by going $100 in the hole, but you know, that's what persistence gets you, especially on the blackjack table. I managed to win my money back and gain $15. It paid for supper. That was sort of the big deal. Now today, I'm going to hope that the snow kind of kicks back a little bit later, but in the interim, I have hockey cards to open. Dun dun! So this is why I like the CHL set of the Upper Deck cards so much, because you always get an autograph, A, in every one, and B, you always pick up a really nice hit. So we're going to go over here to the autograph first, and that is Zach Malik, defenseman for the Sudbury Wolves of the OHL. That's the autograph card that I pulled out. And I pulled out a Star Rookies of Philip Kurashev, center for the Quebec Rampart, and that is an Upper Deck exclusive, numbered to 100. Look at this. Even when I'm on vacation, a working man never stops working. Just recorded a couple of videos for Library Chess Productions that I'm going to work on now before the hockey games start. Like I say, even when you're on vacation, there's no such thing. Vacation is coming to an end. I'm checking out of my hotel in just a few minutes. But in total, saw 2 movies. Enjoyed one quite a bit more than the other, but you can check out those reviews on the Library Chess Productions YouTube page, youtube.com/librarychess. So you can check out those 2 movie reviews there. Got to see 2 movies, took 2 trips to the casino. Both were successful, wound up about $50 in total, and ate terribly and didn't walk as much as I should have. And all in all, just relaxed and did what I'm supposed to do on a vacation. Saw people that I don't get to see very often, and that's what's really important. I never like leaving this hotel. I love this hotel. Cambridge Suites is always amazing to me. So thank you very much, Cambridge Suites, for being awesome once again. Thank you to the city of Halifax. Thank you to the viewers, and we'll see you again next time. Plus, in 6 more months, I get to take vacation again, so